Good morning, okay, on 8:48. Happy Tuesday to you. Tough stuff if you wouldn't be able to hear us every day.
That's
you
right.
know? That would be a sad
Make it
day.
hard to listen to us talk to you every
And not
day.
even just us, your family members. You're sitting around, you're on the couch, you're in the living room, you're having a good time. Maybe the grandkids are running through there, right? And you want to be part of the scene, you want to be part of the conversation, and you can't hear. And you can figure out what's going on. And it starts with a free hearing test. It's not just cleaning your ears and getting the wax out. Is it, Harlan? Is that
We've done that before many times, but the reality is that most people have a problem where they misunderstand the words, but yet they feel like they can hear. Some sounds you hear better than others, like notes on a piano keyboard. Some sounds are going to be more important for clarity. Some sounds more important for hearing. So when you're missing the sounds on the right-hand side of a piano keyboard, those are the ones that are most important. And most people miss those, and it's a slow process, so they really don't know until they have a test.
I've got some seasoned friends that I hang out with, and they're saying that some conversations, they literally are guessing words that people are saying.
Well, if you have enough clues to the word, to the sentence, you'll figure it out if you miss a word or two. But most of the time, folks are having more trouble, and their clues are fewer and farther between. And they miss a keyword, they say something embarrassing or say something doesn't appropriate. So they like to stay up with the conversations, like to stay involved. But sometimes they can feel left out and feel like they're not able to join in, and they feel a little bit less likely to go do things. And that also leads to some mental decline, which Johns Hopkins University and other groups have actually done some studies on that. And if you have hearing, your mental decline is a certain rate. If you have hearing loss, it's a much faster rate. But if you have hearing aids treating your hearing loss, it is about the same rate as if you have normal hearing. So check out Johns Hopkins and hearing aids, and you'll see that for yourself.
Are you second generation or third generation?
Third. My dad, my grandfather. I have two uncles that have done it. My sister in the High Point offices. So family.
How many ears have you listened to over the years? Would you say?
Well, I've thousands and thousands. 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000, probably more than that.
More than you can count.
Yeah.
And so with all those people that come in for that hearing test, when they come in, do a majority, either one way or another, realize they can't hear, or is it that someone finally convinced them to come in and have that test done?
Hopefully the person that convinces them is actually there, because often folks come in with sometimes their arms crossed and that mental kind of don't want to do anything because other people notice it more than them. They just have to say one syllable, what or huh, and the other folks have to repeat the whole thing all the time. So you get some frustration. Some people say, I hear what you want to hear, or selective hearing. And the reality is that if you have a hearing loss, you have to pay so much more attention to hear what's going on. You have to focus harder. And there's no way to do that all the time. So you will mentally just kind of tune out the conversation because it's just not worth the extra effort. To other people, it seems like you're not trying hard enough when really you're just not trying the extra hardness that you need to do to figure out what's going on.
Well, it can really isolate you from family situations as we're heading into, we're looking ahead to the holiday seasons.
yeah.
You're thinking about being in a room with all the people, and sometimes you're having trouble hearing, you'll just end up kind of sitting by yourself and not interacting with the family.
That's right. And it's a gradual thing, so people don't notice it a lot of times. The folks don't even know that you're with. They just know my husband doesn't want to go out and do things, or my wife just doesn't feel comfortable going out, so it affects you socially too. Not just them, but you also get isolated from friends and family. And the reality of it is if you have good hearing or you have treated hearing loss, you're going to feel more aware. You're going to be more witty. Other people are going to perceive you better. You're going to be more accepted socially. You're going to feel like I'm on my game, and other people feel like you're on your game. If not, it could hurt you socially and in business, and just in general, your mental health is better if you hear good.
I don't know, Harlan. If I got to choose between just not hearing or wearing these devices on my ears and carrying around these packs and doing all this stuff with all this technology stuff, I mean, how complicated is the technology?
Oh, man, you just don't be talking like that. They're very small nowadays, very tiny. They fit very discreetly behind the ear. There's some even go little tiny in the ear. They can be Bluetooth with your phone if you want. That's really cool stuff. That's seamless. You just answer your phone. You hear it through your hearing aids if you want to. Nowadays they are very good, and we focus mostly on trying to make sure it's clear in background noise and make sure that it's something you could just hear with, and it's automatic. You don't have to adjust it. You can turn it up if there's something unusual going on, but for the most part, folks can leave it alone all day and hear clearly and not have to think much about it. So it's very small nowadays.
I'll be honest, though, it sounds expensive. Sounds like it might be a little pricey to get this done.
Yeah.
Does insurance do anything related to hearing aids?
Well, that's my specialty is insurance, and that is true. The hearing aids can be expensive. Insurance, if you're over 65, a lot of times your insurance policy will pay for it. Even under 65, some will, especially if you're on Medicaid and Medicare, both if you're over 65. So insurance definitely helps, and they will negotiate with the They'll negotiate with the hearing aid company. So you guys want to be in our network, and Blue Cross, Humana, Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare. They're all the types of groups that we work with, and anybody who has that insurance is going to get a better deal by a long shot. Pay somewhere between a third to what they would normally pay, or even sometimes zero.
All right, let's say that my insurance doesn't cover necessarily Beltone, but maybe one of the other leading technology providers for hearing aids. Do you carry more than just Beltone products?
Absolutely. There's other good companies too. There's lots of them. Matter of fact, all the major brands are good. There's not a crummy major hearing aid company. If you get the over-the-counter stuff, that's going to be not that great. Serves a purpose for the folks who just can't do anything and need something for emergencies. But the reality is the quality of the sound is much better if you get what both call a real hearing aid. And I carry different brands as well. And again, all the hearing aid companies, the major brand is good. If the professional you go to knows that product, that's the most important thing, because they will know how to do the special things in the background that kind of make that hearing aid do better.
We're talking with Harlan. He's the owner of Beltone here around locally. Multiple locations for you. nchearing.com or 877-HEAR-123. That's 877 HEAR-123. You can set up your free hearing. It is free, right? I keep telling everybody it's free.
Yeah,
I just want
it's
to
free.
mention. Hopefully that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I've changed my whole structure because you said that once.
I have a
It's
question.
free.
Once someone gets their hearing aids, if they have an issue with the fit or the sound or anything, can they come back in, or you sell it and they're done?
Oh no, though. Gee, half the fun is taking care of folks, and it's actually a good challenge if somebody comes in. So I enjoy our folks coming in. We have great staff members that know many things about how to fix it if you just walked in. So call in advance to make sure you've got a spot. But for the most part, there's not too much that you have to do, but we're there to do it if you need to have something cleaned or changed or something's not working, we'll figure it out. It's usually something simple, something easily fixed.
Harlan, if you put a flashlight on one side of my head, it comes out the other side. How does it work, like, in there? Like, why is it happening?
I'm highly confident that happens with you.
None of your other patients, though. Never.
Oh, just him. That's it, I'm sure. So the ear has two major parts. You've got mechanical things, and the eardrum could have a hole in it. You got fluid behind your ear, earwax, things like that. It's mechanical things that can be fixed, and we can actually tell that by a hearing test. And we would then refer you to a professional who could help you with that. And let's work on that first. But most folks come in have a nerve deafness or sensory neural hearing loss. They will only be able to help with the hearing aid. It's the only thing that can help them. There's nothing medically you can do. You can monitor it over time, and we measure two big things when it comes to that: how well you hear, but also how well do you hear clearness. Some people do better with hearing aids than others, and we can actually measure how good you'll do.
The ongoing maintenance side of it, is that by appointment only, or do you allow people? You most time let people just stop in, which is just wild.
Well, our staff members there, like I said, and it is very easy to come in and get something done. Call us on the phone too, because folks a call often ends at, "Oh, thanks, I forgot about that," and they'll just go and fix it themselves. But you can also come in. Just a simple phone call first to get your reminders on what to check for, and that usually solves the problem.
You've got multiple locations, one here in Cornelius, you've got Mooresville, you've got multiple others, and you're working on a new location in Statesville coming up here soon.
Yeah, we're working on that. I was there yesterday trying to negotiate with some folks up there for new space, and we hope to see you there. Please come up and see me there or any of my offices. Happy to see you've got great staff, and all of them know how to check and see if you have insurance-related issues that you can get, how much it would cost you. We can give you some great ideas on prices even before you have a hearing test.
We're talking with Harlan at Beltone, nchearing.com. How long does the hearing test take? Because I got a busy day. If I'm going to pop in and see you again, I'm kind of okay not hearing certain things being said in the house, but how long is this whole thing going to take?
Well, if you want to know all about it and you want to hear about it, then if you have a hearing loss, it would take an hour and or so. And if you have more questions, sometimes people have fewer questions, but as long as you want to stay, we've got an hour usually laid aside for that. And some people takes a little less. But if you want to have a good evaluation, by the time you leave, it'll be an hour, and we'll take care of it.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, just come in, hang out on your lunch break, and you guys are fun people to hang out with too.
Third generation. What's been some of like the fun things for you, like over the years? I mean, gosh, the amount of stories and things you've seen from people. What's some of like the highlights? Would you say looking back on the career?
Well, when they leave the office, or right when they get ready to leave, they have their hearing aids. They're really excited. I go, well, tell me about it. And then the next person's waiting, so I can't often talk to them about it. What they tell me is that that they feel more confident, feel more part of their family. Their family notices the most. They're the ones that have to do all the repeating. So now they're going, oh, the joy to have him back. We feel like he's there now. I've had people that have told me that for years they thought their dad or there, in this particular case, I'm thinking of one in particular, that his dad lost his hearing, and he wasn't mentally there, and he was all gone. And but when I had his hearing aid back, when I gave his hearing aids, his family was so amazed that he was hearing good, and how much better he associated with everybody, because they thought he was just sitting in a chair all day and thought he was mentally, but he was all there. They didn't know it because he couldn't hear. He was so used to not hearing. He didn't know how to express that, and made a big difference in their life. When he when he passed away, we called. It was only less than 30 days he had his hearing aids when we passed away. I called to say, "Oh, you can get your hearing aids. You get your money back in 30 days." Before I had the chance to tell him that, they said, "You do not know how happy you made my dad. It was incredible how pleased he was with his hearing aid. He was so happy with it that he insisted that we bury him with his hearing aid in his ear."
Oh, wow. Wow.
True story. And then, so it makes you feel great. And so I never told him why I was calling. I just to touch base. I was going to, they said, "Oh, no, I could have got money back."
Hold on, dig them up. Harlan with Beltone, nchearing.com, 877-HEAR-123, 877-HEAR. 123, the phone number to call if you want to set up an appointment or you want to ask some questions. You can do that. The team at Beltone, absolutely great, and you've got multiple locations. New Statesville location coming soon. Harlan, thank you so much for coming
please
in.
call me, guys. Call me.
That's right. 877-HEAR-123, 877-HEAR-123. Thanks, Harlan.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7. WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.
Harrison's is the home of Work Western and wow! For nearly 30 years, our family has been boots on the ground when it comes to work. We have the largest selection of in-stock boots in the Carolinas and the best workwear brands like Harriet, Carhartt, and Wrangler. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard.